Hey everyone, I'm Kim with Abundant Life Tarot. Thank you so much for joining. I am doing another Mystery Mystic Monday, and in this one we are doing another revisit. We are revisiting the case of MonishaSLeath. Some additional information came in by way of Viva La Convo's channel, and that channel is a wonderful resource so far from what I found that delves into what may have been going on with Monisha. So definitely check it out. The link is in the description box, the latest video, the latest update. And now you will understand why I felt called to do an updates video after you watch that video, okay? So check it out. You need to check it out and then watch this video, okay? Or you could watch my video first, but then check out that video because there's some interesting, disturbing things that came up, and it relates to her husband. And yeah. So stay tuned. We're going to dive in, and I have 7 questions that we're going to be asking Spirit, asking the Divine through my cards, and seeing what comes up. Stay tuned. Okay, so before we get into the reading, I did want to share with you all an article that was published or posted on Coosa Valley News, which is it looks like a new local news outlet for this area. And it's titled, Cave Spring Man Arrested After Domestic Altercation. And it was dated January 24th, 2022, just a month before Mo was reported missing, or when she was last seen, okay? And I'm just going to read to you the article really briefly here. But there's a picture of her husband, Joseph Leroy Jones, and the article it really kind of blew me away. And the reason being is that in one of the prior readings that I did for this case, the news media card came up, and it said that we were going to learn about information pertaining to his past that could have been a red flag to family or to even Mo herself. All right. So I'm reading it here. It says, Joseph Leroy Jones, 30, of Cave Spring, was arrested this week after reports said he attacked his wife in front of their children. Reports stated that Jones grabbed the arms of his wife before shoving her into a wall. The action resulted in a picture frame being broken. Police added that the couple's 3 children witnessed the altercation. Jones is charged with simple battery. All right. So there could have been even more red flags, but this was a news article that was brought to my attention by the channel Viva La Convos, and I'll put a link in the description box of this article here, as well as Viva La Convo's latest video, so you can check it out. And you definitely want to check that out, like I've mentioned before. Okay, now we're going to get to the reading. Okay, so we are now doing the reading surrounding Mo's disappearance, and it's been since February 24th that she was last seen. So there's been some information that has come out that we're going to just explore further, okay? We're going to explore this further. So what type of activities was Joe involved in, and was Mo aware of these activities, and were these activities above board, or were they like, you know, borderline, not legal or questionable? So we got 6 of Wands in reverse. Okay. 10 of Swords, she definitely knew something was going on. There's some nefarious things going on with the 6 of Wands in reverse. It's one of those cards that is speaking to, you know, putting something on a pedestal, making it sound greater than what it really is, like sound bigger than what it really is. And in fact, it was something that caused Mo to feel quite betrayed by the fact that he was exploring whatever this endeavor was. We're going to see if we can find out more about what the endeavor was. Something with guns. And I'll show you why in a moment. We'll also see if it's like monetarily tied. Footprints. Let me see. I'm going to ask this one. Loss. Okay. All right. I'm not quite picking up yet exactly what this, let me zoom in. I'm not picking up exactly what he was involved in. I'm going to think more about the 6 of Wands in reverse, but whatever it was, it sounded too good to be true, and it probably was. This aunt card, she has guns in her hand, tattoos, maybe some kind of gang life, some sort of gang activity, some sort of maybe it was related to people who deal with like gangs or deal with that kind of underbelly life, but maybe there was a spin on it to make it seem like it was like, okay, this is borderline legal, but really it's not. It also could speak to, let me pull from this deck. It also could speak to some kind of exchange of money. Gambler. Oh, I almost tumbled all of that. Gambler. A gamble. And I'm not quite sure what could be gambled. It says light attribute, willingness to follow intuition even when others doubt you. And shadow attribute, relying on luck rather than hard work. And so I suspect that the investigators are aware of whatever this activity was going on. Or perhaps they will become aware as time moves on. The end of winter, going into mid-spring, it's going to be revealed of what other activities he may have been involved in. Loss says expect some financial turmoil in the near future. A job loss could make it difficult to keep control of your money, or you have to work really hard to make ends meet. There is a loss, a sense of loss under this 10 of Swords, a sense of like losing money, losing big in this regard, and maybe even owing someone. And this person or persons were not feeling the owing. So there's that. And it says, say yes to the things you think you can't do. This speaks to perhaps Mo saying yes to certain aspects of this, or agreeing with, Joe embarking on this endeavor, this plan, and this is something that she never thought she would be okay with doing. Or it could be that Joe or someone close to him is saying yes to things that they thought they couldn't do. And maybe so that could be speaking to that. And ask for help, this indicates to me that perhaps Joe had asked her for help. maybe financial help, maybe just the approval as his wife to go ahead and do this, maybe some other form of help. Maybe she wasn't directly in, but yeah, that's what I'm picking up here. Let me zoom out now so we can move these over here. Trying to make room. I'm not quite sure. I'm going to stick these off to the side. Buddha and drought. This might be clues to some other aspects of where she might be. So I'm going to stick these off to the side here. And we got footprints. This came up in her reading before the footprints card. So I'm wondering if there's some evidence of what activity this may have been, and that the investigators are looking into what those could be. Those could be actual footprints. Those could actually be text messages that are left behind, social media messages, searches on the internet with the footprints card. It's not just the footprints. So there's some level of money, gambling, promises made that weren't fulfilled over here, and reluctant help, and then feeling a grave sense of letdown, like just really let down and disappointed, and just like, I am so over this. I'm so over this. I'm so out of here. I so need to get away from this situation. So there's that. Okay. All right. Now let's move on to the next question, which is, okay, did the activities that Joe was allegedly involved in related in any way to Mo's disappearance? So whatever was going on over here, did it have any impact or involvement into Mo's disappearance? Can't escape. Bones. Okay. So let's do this like that. I would say with the can't escape and bones and lovers and son card, this could be someone's son. Someone's son did this. It could be a son, it could be a male representing a male. Can't escape. To the question of, did this have anything to do with it? I would say definitely. We have triumph of lies sitting under here. We have bones. Bones meaning that, these are the bones of the secrets that are tied to her disappearance. It could literally mean bones, or the presence of bones, or hiding secrets. Triumph of lies here. Someone lying about, from beginning, middle, and end of whatever this situation was. Just lie after lie after lie to the point it caught up. Okay. Whatever his actions were, this triumph of lies, this person constantly lying, still lying. And is someone close. Lovers. Lovers, to me, is indicating yes, that whatever was going on over here had a hand, along with a lover's quarrel, perhaps. This all is tied together. Like it was just like, an explosion waiting to happen in this dynamic, in this relationship. Okay, let's move on to the next question, which is, so there's a question of, because Joe admits that he dropped off, like they got into a heated argument in the vehicle. Remember the vehicle card from her first readings that we did? Now it's starting to really come to light as to what this may mean. Now, again, I still feel like the car had something to do with moving her out of her bounds. But the vehicle card is indicative as well of Joe saying that he and Mo got into a very heated argument, and to the point where she wanted to be dropped off. And then the phone, I think he threw the phone out in this woodsy area, And it's just, the story just starts getting weirder and weirder, but he says that they had a heated argument. So now we're going to ask the question, what are the energies surrounding, did Joe really drop off Mo after the vehicle argument near Rome or in their family? So I'm going to re-ask that because it's kind of a convoluted question. Spirit, what are the energies surrounding whether or not Joe really dropped off Mo after their argument? Was it, as he stated, in Rome, near family? We'll see. Was it as he stated? There's the Queen of Wands. That came up in her readings before, the Tower. Okay, so did he really drop her off? Like where he said he did, following their argument. Dark hair color. I don't know if that's going to tell us anything more, but the Queen of Wands, human trafficking. So, Queen of Wands represents her. It represents her putting up a fight, a battle, the ultimate battle. With, you see how she has that wand in her hand, outstretched. There was definitely a fight of epic proportions, and that's what seen with the Tower card. Everything changed after this fight. Everything. Let me see. Let me see if we get any additional insight. Did he drop her off where he said Daredevil, daylight? So whatever happened during the day. I sense that with this human trafficking card and dark hair color, it's giving me, there's aspects to his story that are true. They got into a really big fight that changed everything. And nothing is the same after this. And he knew it. And so someone really lost their temper with the Queen of Wands. And as a result, some darkness came during this daylight. Because that's likely when she disappeared, was sometime during the day. So there's some elements to what he's saying is true. I'm not sensing, though, that he dropped her off at near her family, because that's what he's saying. And it's actually looking kind of like remote where he dropped her off. Now, maybe her family lives in a remote area. I don't know. We can see what type of area did he drop her off in. Country. Yeah, that part. And again, now her family could live in a very country part, right? So maybe there is some truth. I don't know, like if her family lives in a rural part or not. But yeah, if they don't, or if it's more of a suburban area, more, commercial or more, just more bustling and stuff, then that's an aspect of his story that is just not true. Okay. Allegedly, of course. I want to put these over here so we have room. I'm going to move some of my decks so I have room to spread them out, because I'm going to try to finish this reading today. Meaning that I don't want it to be in part 1, part 2, or any of that. Just kind of want to get it done. All right, let me see what other questions to ask. Okay, we can ask this, I suppose. What was the nature and extent of the argument that they had in the car? What was it about? Spirit, if you're willing to release that information. If not, we'll move on to the next question. So what was the nature and extent of the argument? Something changing. Something changing. Okay. What was the nature and extent of the argument? We got the Will and the Devil. Queen of my world. Yeah. It's consistent with what was coming up in the last readings. Queen of my world is like, you know, I think she may have been expressing that a tide has turned. I don't want to deal with this anymore. I don't want to deal with whatever is going on over here. It could be addictions, drug related. Maybe if he's not addicted to drugs, dealing with drugs or making some sort of gamble with them, and dealing with people who use firearms in this whole dynamic, okay? With that gun-toting aunt card. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a woman. Could, but that's not what I picked up when I got that card. There was a changing of a cycle in her life. She was ready to move away from this energy. She was tired of it. She had been really tired of it in the Capricorn season of the Devil card. The Devil card represents the time period of like December 21st to January 19th. So she really was at the end of her rope. And I suspect that she had, you know, she was fussing, fighting with him and not backing down and saying, this is it. I can't deal with this anymore. This is over. Queen of my world is like, I'm not going to deal with this. But because he did some kind of shady shenanigans over here, and because he just really wanted to control the situation, control her with this Devil card, it's like he may have snapped. And the argument just really took a turn for the worse with that Tower card. Things never being the same. Okay, so let's move on to the next question. Next question is, I don't know if I need to ask about that one. Let's see, because I was going to ask about why did he throw the phone, but that's even up for questioning, and I don't know. And I'm assuming that that'll come out in these cards if we continue with this reading, which I plan to do. But I don't want it to go too long, okay? Because the other parts were really long anyway. So I don't want it to go too long. And I don't know if we necessarily need to know that. Because let me say this, there's a question about whether or not he threw the phone out of the vehicle like he says. And really, I don't know if that's really material at this point. It could be, it very well could be, and it probably could crack open the case. But we'll move on. What happened immediately following the argument? Where did Mo go? And this might speak to what happened to the phone, right? What happened immediately following? Okay. She was, definitely some sort of fight. The moon in reverse. I don't like that. What happened immediately following the argument or fight? Choke. Mental health. Someone needing a doctor. So this card, when we're asking such a question, it can mean, abuse. It can mean hurting someone, losing your temper, getting out of control, things becoming like almost blurred. You can't even see straight. You're fighting anger. You're fighting mad. There was a definite struggle in that vehicle, which leads me to think that this would probably be in an area that is like more rural. Because I would imagine if somebody started fighting, if I saw a couple fighting to the extent that I'm picking up that they were actually physically fighting, I would be calling the cops. I'm sure other people would too. There are times when people just don't get involved, but I don't know, because we have choke. We have mental health, and that's again where somebody snapped. One or both of them snapped, and as a result, someone was definitely in need of a doctor right away. Maybe kept alive for a bit, or maybe was just really, really, really hurt and injured and needed some medical assistance with that doctor card. Okay. All right, let's move on to the next question. All right. What's going on with Joe now? Let's ask that. What's going on with Joe? Judgment. He's being analyzed. He's being looked over. He's being I mean, I'm not going to lie. It looks like he's definitely being judged in relation to Mo's disappearance. Okay. And I'm going to pull from this one. Where is he at now? What's he doing? What's going on? The R word, R-A-P-E. Think. There goes the financial interest. People are checking bank records. Friends. Okay, so here's the thing. He's being looked at and analyzed by a lot of different people now. Like, sights are set on him. All right? The sights are set on him as to what is going on. What is his level of involvement? What has he been up to over here? What has been going on over here? So we got this. They're wondering if there was some sort of attack. They being family, friends, because we got the friends card. But friends also could mean somebody's worried about him being looked at closely. They're all tied into this. Look at this friends card, all tied up, all enmeshed into this mess. Okay, and so this is a woman who has had something taken from her, and he's being looked at, questioned. Constantly questioned over and over actively. The judgment card speaks to that. The bank card is interesting because he's worried about funds. Maybe he's worried about owing someone. Maybe he's worried about his life. I sense that there's a concern about his finances. And I'm strongly sensing with this bank, like, did somebody loan him money? Now he has to pay up. Also, this could speak to someone looking at his bank records or looking at the bank records of the household and looking at comings and goings and analyzing what's going on there. So that's also what's going on with the investigation. Let me see. The last question is, what's next for this investigation? Anger and chains. Anger and chains. And I haven't forgotten about these cards. I honestly think that where she's at is a serene space. And I'm not getting like in like a city or urban or even suburban area. It's like serene here. I'll put these off to the side. Like, I feel like there's clues within these images, and Buddha and drought could speak to just what has transpired here. Reincarnation, returning, rebirth. It's interesting. Okay, anger and chains. What's next in the investigation, Spirit? Alive. Health issues. Lawyer comes up again. Medium hair color. Anger and chains. Something is going to be revealed that causes and elicits anger. Somebody's going to be bound or jailed, or there's going to be some repercussions coming down the line. We have the alive card. We can always hold out hope that there's this situation that she's found alive. Somebody, if they haven't already done so, has done so. Someone is luring, I can't even say it. They're getting an attorney. They're getting a lawyer. They're consulting a lawyer about this situation, about what may have happened. Again, hair has something to do with it, but I'm not quite sure how this medium hair color card, it showed up in the past reading too. Health issues. Someone has health issues that's involved. Someone caused grave health issues to her, or maybe she had health issues that are going to come up and be revealed, and that it makes this situation sad for those who love her to know what she was going through. So it could be something like that that's revealed. Alive, like I said, we can hope and pray that this means that she is alive somewhere, maybe at a woman's shelter. Maybe, no, I hope not, she's being held against her will, but I think what this is about is, this is about this alive energy of focusing on what was happening when she was last seen, like what was going on in the weeks, days, and months prior to when she was last seen alive, okay? So I'm going to pull a tarot card just to kind of get a sense of what's going on with the investigation. Maybe some additional clues here. There is hope, the Star card. After all this, there's some sort of hopeful outcome coming. Queen of someone being judged and looked at, some answers coming up that have to be analyzed and looked over with this Queen of Swords. There is hope in terms of more answers are going to start to come out and be revealed. And as a result, that's going to bring about some sort of healing and closure, but it's going to take some time. We're talking months in the making with the sword. Swords represents the timing of months. It also represents the timing or the season of winter, but that doesn't necessarily mean winter is when we're going to hear something. But it certainly could be months that we finally, you see how she's kind of judging or looking and analyzing and judging harshly sometimes with the Queen of Swords. But there's going to be things revealed that bring about a healing and a closure to the situation, to bring about hope. And yeah, the Star card is a welcome sight to such a reading. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to stop here. And I already did an in-depth review of where I think, I wrote it up and pinned it to, I think it's part 1 of her reading, of Mo's reading. And it goes into depth of some locations that I sensed and also noted where she may be located or where major clues are located about, where this argument may have taken place, where she may have been dropped off, where things may have happened. So check out those other videos if you want more information on that. I just wanted to do a follow-up reading here on what was coming up in Viva La Convo's videos, and shout out to Viva La Convo's channel for providing this information and reporting information to the Georgia Bureau of Investigations. Hopefully they act upon it soon, or they're doing things behind the scenes that we're not privy to. But thank you for sharing that information, because it really is I'm starting to see things here. All right, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Let me know your insights, your interpretations of some of the cards. Did you pick up on some common themes across the readings? Do you know anything, or do you know the area where this took place? Maybe there's some, clarity that you can provide here. And of course, if you know of anything at all surrounding Mo's disappearance, please report it to the authorities, because you never know what even just a little bit of information can open up in an investigation. Okay, so thank you all for watching. Thank you all for being here. Please take very good care of yourselves. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye for now.